Hello, it's Roman Kemp and Chris Stark from Capital Breakfast with you. And today, we're doing a little bit of life drawing. But today, my canvas is Chris's face. And my subject, the one, the only, the Vivian.
Hello.
Hello.
Why is it every time we meet there's makeup involved?
Oh, I thought we can just have a little bit of a catch up whilst I...
You're going to be recreating this?
I will attempt to.
All right.
I never really asked, where does the name the Vivian come from?
The Vivian, it comes from the late great legend Dame Vivian Westwood, who we just lost. So a lot of Queen's names will be something that comes from something they have a love affair with. Mine was Vivian Westwood, so
Sure.
the Vivian, yeah. And I never wanted like there's quite punny names in drag.
That's what I was going to say. Like,
Yeah.
I would probably go with more of a punny name.
What would your drag name
Well,
be?
my drag name was Romanita. But looking
like
back
that.
on it, we came. Well, Chris had an idea for his name. What was it, Chris?
Pat Noodle.
Pat Noodle.
I like Pat Noodle.
Pat Noodle is brilliant.
Sounds like a classy bird, Pat Noodle.
What year was the Vivian born?
I was 16. I was 14 when I first started playing with makeup.
Right.
15 when I kind of found out what drag was.
You're
moved
right.
to Liverpool at 16. I finished school on the Friday. Moved to Liverpool on the Saturday to become a makeup artist.
And in Liverpool, the drag scene is pretty amazing, right?
It's a fab drag scene. The thing with Liverpool was there were so many different diverse types of drag. You know, the first queens I saw were Brenda and Tiara, who were very much that pageant, Blackpool, sequin gown, big hair updos, huge, you know, very painted and stunning. And I was like,
if you could just stay a
wow.
little bit more still, because I'm trying to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just it's like a
I'm
painting.
awfully
isn't it?
sorry.
So go on then. Sorry. Yes.
Paint me like one of your French girls.
Yes, I will. I will.
And then there was also Garland's, which was this huge, you know, it was a staple that people would travel all over from the UK to go to. The club kids of the 80s was such a big influence on Garland's because you became your own canvas. I used to go out as, I was found one morning in a bush dressed as a cat on a Sunday morning looking for a taxi. I did a cow look one week. We used to get
A
pushed
cow look.
Yeah, I was a
How
cow.
did that?
And I had a
What do
cart
you
and a
mean?
mill. You just create from
You would
whatever
have
you
been
had
Moo
around you. Moo Paul, yeah.
Okay.
It was literally looking around the house one night, what have I got? And there was a carton of milk in the fridge. It was the only thing that was in the fridge.
Right.
So I tipped that down, stuck it on my head, and then created a look around that. They were the fun times of drag, you know, when it wasn't about looking polished and being perfect.
Because I mean, look, it's not that far back that you go where it was frowned upon. It was deemed strange. It was weird. But now it's so celebrated and it's become such a lovely part of people's homes.
Yeah, I find it crazy. We had Danny LaRue in 60s, 70s, and then Lily Savage and, you know, Cannonball, all these people on TV that did drag, and it was so celebrated. And then Lily hung up her heels, and then it just completely went back underground, and then it became a bit more frowned upon again for some strange reason. But now, because of Drag Race, it's become the biggest pop culture phenomenon since I don't know what. It's just crazy. I think the world was ready for drag again. There was so much stuff going on.
I really like thinking of it in that way, in the sense of people deserve a bit of escapism now, and it gives it that chance to live fabulously, if you were.
Yeah, and drag at its core is just fun.
We've got to talk about it. You've been doing Dancing on Ice.
Yes.
How have you found it?
I'm obsessed with it.
No, that what?
I'm trying to
Perk
see
your
what's
lips.
going on here.
No, that's. You got very small lips.
I've got a friend who can sort that out. Dancing on Ice, just fantastic. When I got the call, I was in America on tour, and I kind of went, oh, yay, and just these million questions going around. Am I going to like it? Am I going to break my neck? You know, what is going to happen? But
Have you injured yourself so far?
I popped my shoulder up last week on the day of the live show.
The day of the live show?
Yeah, in the morning. So Sharon, the amazing physio, just popped it back in.
What were you doing in the morning?
Well, we do run-throughs. It's so people see the skate, you know, on the Sunday night. I've been training since November, so there's 5 months of work that goes into it, and then 5 days a week, 6 days a week training. It's got me in the best shape of my life. I've quit smoking.
No way.
Yeah, it's day 7 off the cigs, and it's just fabulous. There's the most amazing cast and everyone behind the scenes you don't even see. You just got to take it week by week because anything can happen. You know, I don't know if you saw the week where I skated out of drag.
Yes.
That was such a shake-up for me.
It can't be the first time that you've been on camera, not in drag.
No, I've been on camera out of drag, but not necessarily performing. You know, I sang out of drag. You know, half cut on a karaoke somewhere. But it's getting on the ice, and I was like, yeah, it'll be fine without the drag. It'll just be nice, stripped back, raw. And then I came onto the ice and was like, wow.
This is where I really love it. It's those people that like well, you know, myself included, everyone at some point in their life, you know, you feel that need to kind of become someone else or be something else.
Rue says the power that you have in drag is available to you out of drag, and once you realise that, you can do anything without it, and that is such a mind-blowing concept. Even to people who don't do drag, everyone has a safety blanket, whether it be a perfume that you wear or a wig or, you know, the way you dress. It is something that we put on to take on the world, and when we realise that you can do all of that without that, I think, you know, there's no stopping us.
Okay, so I'm currently doing Chris's face here. For those that, you know, want their makeup done less like this and like yours, where do you start?
Pick it up and play with it. I started just before YouTube tutorials and everything. I think there was about 3 different tutorials on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I used to sit in my room and play with it and just have fun with it. Throw away the rule book. There's no right and wrong. Well, I mean, we haven't seen what you've done yet. So I might retract that
it's definitely hitting right here.
You know, people say, oh, you shouldn't do that. You can't do that. You shouldn't put pink around the eyes to make you.
Shouldn't put pink around the eyes?
Well, no, you can, but as long as it's, I don't know.
Okay. I don't know if you ever saw me in drag, but I know it's such an art. That's why I feel embarrassed doing this in front of you, because I do have a huge respect for the art behind it, because it is incredible.
It is.
However, looks very painful at points.
Drag queens have this thing of using everyday things that are never meant to be used. You know, like I use carpet glue to put my eyelashes on, and I use super glue to put my nails on, super glue to stick my earrings on, and people go, "You're putting super glue." It's got to stay on. You just yank it off.
With your family, they must be super proud of everything you're doing, right?
Yeah, they are, and you know, it was they had an amazing childhood, and they put me through private school, and I was going to be a lawyer, and then I was going to do this, and now I'm a drag queen.
Yeah.
But when I moved to Liverpool, and they first, it's a weird, you know, you come out as gay, and that's one thing they have to come to terms with, and then it's, oh, I want to be a drag queen, and they probably didn't know what drag, you know, they obviously knew what drag was, but didn't. Yeah. You know, it's like, oh, do you want to change gender, or do you know, it's like, no, that's not my journey. I want to do it for fun and take it off. It's a job. Yeah. And I think once they saw that I became successful and I was making you know, I was working 5 nights a week, 7 nights a week sometimes, making a good living and staying safe, and they were like, oh, right, there's actually a career in this for you. You're not just throwing your life away.
You know, with your parents, you're obviously very fortunate that your parents were, you know, put you through a nice education, and as you say, like coming out to them and then going into drag, they're always very supportive. For those parents that don't necessarily understand, and say if their son or their daughter or whoever wants to become a drag queen, to them, what would you want to say to them?
Just love your children. There was a young family at Dancing Nice on Sunday who brought their son over, and he was autistic, and he was just the nicest little guy. His name was Albert, and he had this sequin holographic silver suit on, and he was just lovely. And I just said to the parents, thank you just for being accepting. That's all you can do. Just love them, see what happens, and let them figure it out for themselves. Just be supportive. That's all you can do.
You know, there's always going to be issues out there, but do you still think there are a lot of problems that drag queens, even in 2023, face?
Oh, 100%. And like I touched on it before, we're in this place now. I was supposed to go on tour in America this Christmas, and I couldn't go because Dancing on Ice came up, which is amazing. But my friends who were on the tour, I said, how was it going? Because I was hearing some stories and they had to have the FBI there. There was protests outside the theatres.
Oh my God.
They had to have drones above, and there was people turning up with guns, because there's this whole rhetoric now that drag queens are grooming children, and it's just insane. And it's all coming from Drag Queen Storytime, which is, you know, drag queens go to libraries, read a book, and leave. But this has been taken, you know, from Trump and everything else.
Of course, the
absolute lunatics in the world that have got nothing else to point a finger at than, oh, well, let's go after the LGBT community again.
Do you think it is getting better? Like, I mean, especially like in the UK, do you see like a much greater and a better acceptance for drag? Yeah,
I mean, I'm ice skating in drag on mainstream TV. It's insane. If you told me 10 years ago I was going to be doing that, I'd have laughed in your face. Every channel you turn up, there's a drag queen on at the minute, which is fab. You know, will it last forever? Probably not. I think it's very fashionable at the minute. You know, drag will be around forever.
Do you see it almost as like a fashion thing at the minute?
I think it is. Drag is very fashionable right now.
Right.
And I think it will always be super popular.
Yeah.
But I think now as it's we're in the,
We're in the salad days.
Yes, and I think it's great. It's if 10-year-old me could see somebody like me on TV. Lily Savage was there, but it was it was a later night TV. Now it is so accepted, and I just want people to see it as entertainment.
I've got a new member of the gang for you.
Okay, is it ready? Are you ready? All right. Do you know what? That's not horrendous.
Is it as bad as you thought it was?
No, honestly not. Honestly not. Look at the lips. I like how you look like you've had a jam sandwich. The lips. You've definitely got off my lips.
I had to go a bit bigger on the lips because.
And to be fair, let's see the lashes. You've not done it. If you just put liner underneath them, we could salvage. The eyebrows are great.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pat Noodle. Vivian, thank you so much.
You're more than, but thank you.
Yeah, it's actually not that
I told you.